Включи второй свет, пожалуйста. Hi everyone. Looks like it's very dark. Okay, that's better. Yeah, great. Hi everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Today I'm very happy to see you all. And the topic of our live stream is the future of Ielts after the quarantine, and the future of all of us, because you probably know that I'm the founder of the community, the goal of which is to help people build and design their dream future abroad. And Ielts, for many of us, was this unique chance to open the doors to the new life abroad. And now, since you understand and clearly see that the situation has changed so much, it is quite difficult to predict anything. So, in this live stream today, what we are going to talk about is what are other methods of assessing your English for applying for universities, or to different companies abroad, and then how can we plan for our future? How can we prepare for the test during the quarantine? Will we still need the test after the quarantine? And all of such questions. Please leave any questions that you have about this topic in the chat. I will also answer the questions about the Ielts preparation overall. So anything that is important for you and interesting for you about the Ielts preparation, I will answer. Also, a bit of an introduction about myself. As you probably know, I am Russian, half Ukrainian, and those are my native languages. English is not my native language. I have learned English on my own completely when I was small. So I obviously started learning it when I was small, and then year after year, I kind of was building up on my knowledge, and now I am fluent. So everyone can do this as well. I didn't live in any English-speaking country. I didn't move abroad for learning the language. I didn't even attend any summer schools, you know, those summer schools when you're supposed to go somewhere and learn English. So I didn't do all of that. And I was able to learn the language in Russia without having anyone, like any native speakers around, without just learning the language, you know, with someone who speaks English perfectly from their childhood. So everything was very conventional. Books, grammar, vocabulary, a tutor, my school, and me with lots and lots of dedication and practice. So yeah, that is how I managed to become fluent. And then started my Ielts journey when I was in the last year of my bachelor's degree. I understood that my bachelor's was not that, well, it was good, but I was not really satisfied with its quality. So I figured that I really want to apply for the best business school that I could find in Russia or abroad for my master's degree. And that was the moment when I understood that I needed Ielts. And it was such a turning point for me because I had zero idea about the test overall. I didn't know how to prepare. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't understand its structure. So it was completely new for me. There was nothing that I knew about the test. So, and to make it even worse, I only had 1 month to prepare. Right? So for me, I was the person who procrastinated a lot, and that is why I started my preparation for Ielts 3.5 weeks until my test date. Can you imagine this? 3.5 weeks. So that was my time frame that I had to cope with. And at that time, I was at the level B2. So for me, that was the level when I started kind of preparing completely on my own. I have created a plan for myself. I have gone through that plan on my own, and I did everything. I've done everything I could to secure a good score. I will talk in detail about that a bit later, because that was the whole journey. You know, even though I managed to squeeze that into 1 month, but still it was a journey. And in the end, I took the test and I got 9 in reading, 9 in listening, 7 in writing, and 7.5 in speaking. It was the academic test, and the overall was 8.0 for me. So I was able to get 8.0 in under 1 month of preparation, and I know how to teach you guys how to do that. Again, it was IELTS academic. It is more difficult than the IELTS general, and if you need to pass the IELTS general test, then you are in luck, because it's definitely easier. It was a couple of years ago, so if I took the test now, I would definitely have a higher score, and it would definitely take me less time to prepare. So let me go through the questions for a bit. Hello to everyone who sent me nice messages and sent me greetings. So I'm sorry if I'm reading your names incorrectly. I'm sorry, excuse me. I don't know how to read everyone's name correctly, but I will try. So, Yeha Sahira, I hope that's correct. She or he, they ask, please guide how IELTS preparation can be managed and organized at home with that at individual level. So yeah, that was what I basically did. I organized the whole my prep on my own at home, at the dormitory to be exact, without any help, any external help, except for what I had in my library. The first thing that I did, actually, I went to the city library and I took the IELTS preparation book. There was the IELTS trainer. I took it completely for free because it was from the library. I obviously returned it afterwards, but I took the book and I was certain that I would be able to prepare on my own. And the second step that I took after getting the book, I went through the placement test. So there are many different placement tests online, and they're designed to give you an idea of what English level you currently have. So what is your weak maybe side? What are your strong sides in the English? Meaning, what grammar do you know? What grammar maybe you have to brush up on? What vocabulary you still need to learn a bit more? So the placement test kind of places you on the scale of the English knowledge, or on the English level. And I took the test to understand where I stood in terms of my English, to understand what I lacked and what I had to learn more, what I had to brush up on. So that was my second step. And after that, I also took a small IELTS mock test just to familiarize myself with the IELTS structure and just to answer the question of, okay, how this test works. What do I know? What do I don't know? And with those 3 very simple steps, taking the book, taking the placement test, taking the mock test, I was able to structure my schedule for the next month. In that schedule, I outlined day by day what I had to do. So was it reading? Was it listening? Was it writing? Was it speaking? If speaking, for how long? With whom? If writing, how many essays? Which topics? What grammar to recall? What grammar to work on? If it was reading, what articles to read, what mock tests to do, and all of that. So my schedule was full. Every single day, I had a module that I was working on. So another question I see, how much time daily and how to divide the time part-wise. It really depends on you. It depends on your placement test. If you scored like C1 level on the placement test, then obviously the time that you spent will be smaller. I mean, the time period will be shorter. If you score like A1 or A2, which are very low levels, then obviously you will need to dedicate more time. And it's very individual because all the preparation depends on the pace of your learning. Some people learn very slowly. You know, some people spend years and months to prepare for IELTS. They make several attempts, they retake the test several times, and still they're not able to score their target scores. So that's just how they work, right? That's just their individual level of learning and of their knowledge. For me, apparently, I am able to learn quite quickly. So for me, 1 month was enough to jump from B1 almost to B2. So again, that's very individual. Right, other questions. How can I get 8 in listening? Is it possible to get 8 in listening? Well, I got 9 in listening. Then I guess it's perfectly possible to get 8 in listening if I was able to get 9. In my opinion, listening and reading are two of the easiest modules on the test because you only work with the information that is already given to you, right? You don't have to improvise at all because when you compare this to writing and speaking, those are modules when you have to come up with your own ideas. You have to make up structures. You have to think of grammar and vocabulary. And this just doesn't happen on reading and listening. So I guess they are the easiest. And I have videos on my channel where I explain step by step how to solve listening tests. It's super simple. I have broken them down. Please go and watch those videos on my channel. That's for Mian Kazim, who asked about the listening module. Okay, Gustavo Pasos says that he is preparing himself by an Udemy course. That's great. I know that that's a good academy. They also invited me to create a course on Udemy for IELTS. So maybe one day I will. Who knows? Amit Marwaha, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but they ask how to improve academic reading. Again, as you know, I got 9 on reading, and I have step-by-step video tutorials on my channel for reading. I literally take a test and they solve it with you on camera. You can watch it. You can see how I solve every single question. Those videos are on my channel, so you can go and have and find them on the channel. Right. Let me get back to our topic of the live stream. So here I have an outline for the live stream structure, and I will try to stick to it because today we have a very clear question and a very clear topic. I will also go back to your questions, guys, but after we discuss a bit the topic of today's live stream. And the topic is what IELTS will be after the quarantine. The first thing that I want to say is that I'm the founder of the World Speaks English community, and that is a community that unites people who are passionate about learning English and who are passionate about changing their lives, moving abroad, living somewhere else, traveling the world and making new friends. So for that, people obviously need IELTS because IELTS was such an amazing chance and such a gate to a new life abroad. So currently, the whole situation has obviously changed because you know that I will also make a little Instagram video for everyone on my Instagram to see that the live stream has already started and we are waiting for everyone to join here. So guys, if you also want to jump on it, you're welcome. The link to it is in my profile in the bio. Okay, so I was saying that the whole situation has obviously changed, right? With the lockdown, with the coronavirus quarantine, now borders are closed. Now universities postponed their application periods. Now companies are not hiring, and that's such a disrupted situation compared to what we had before. So I'm just writing a text for the Instagram story to post it, that we have started the live stream and waiting for everyone. Yeah, excuse me for this small pause. Right. So since the whole situation is so disrupted currently, what do we do? How do we structure our long-term planning if such unprecedented situation is happening right now? My personal opinion is that this is a period of calm, right? Of calmness that is very unusual for our time. We are accustomed to always being on the go, right? We all are in a hurry in a way. The world around us, a bit before the quarantine, obviously, was very hectic. Everything moved so quickly. Everyone lived in such a high pace. So this period of the lockdown, of the quarantine, is such an unusual period of calmness. That is the time, in my opinion, to stop, to take a pause, and to learn more, to solidify your current knowledge, your current skills, and to learn more of new skills. This will bring you to an unfair advantage when you will then apply to universities and apply to different employers abroad after the whole situation changes. So just remember that we can use every single situation for our advantage. And what is your idea about that? What are your thoughts about that? Can you please write in the comments here in the chat? What do you think? Will you treat this situation, this whole lockdown period, to solidify your skills, to learn something from a different angle, to learn more, to be, better at self-presentation, for example, or at English skills, or at any language skills, or maybe gain some confidence? So will you use that time to be more prepared for the future or not? And what are you doing in the quarantine right now? What, guys, are you doing? I'm very interested. Mian Kazim asks, can you provide some PDF books? Of course. That's what I do, guys. That's what I do. I provide PDF books all the time. They are linked in almost all of my first videos on this YouTube channel. They're also given in the Telegram channel with PDF books. I am writing the link to it in the chat so that you all can get it, and you can also join that. So in this channel, I share lots of PDF books, and you can also go there and get them for free. So again, Mian Kazim says, I have a very important question. How can we focus on listening? How can we focus to someone, especially the native person? Do you have a problem with your focus? Then you definitely have to see a psychologist, because the problems with your focus are psychological problems. They are not problems with your English language. They're psychological problems. And they are as well problems of our generation, because people in the 21st century are naturally less focused on things than people from the previous centuries. We have, again, so much going on around us that it's just so difficult to focus. That's the problem of our generation. And that has nothing to do with Ielts. That has nothing to do with English. That's just the problem that you have to work separately. You can Google different meditation techniques or breathing, breathing, exercising, breathing practices. Those things really help you focus on one thing, on your thoughts, or on your breathing, or on meditating. So those exercises really develop your focus, and that's what you need. it doesn't have anything to do with IELTS whatsoever. Okay, guys, I see some of your opinions in the chat about the quarantine. Do you also think that that's the period of calmness and the period of, you know, regaining confidence in yourself, taking a pause, learning something new? So what are you writing in the chat? Gulnaz, hi Gulnaz, she's writing that, of course, I am very optimistic. I keep a very optimistic view about the lockdown. I'm reading books and doing workouts these days. That's perfect. I'm also doing lots of workouts. Actually, before this live stream, I have just finished a workout for my abs. I died. It was so good. Okay, of course, Singh says that lockdown can be used for preparation for IELTS. So I think we can get a good band score without coaching. Am I right? Yes, of course, you can. I did it without coaching. It was possible. Everyone is able to get a high score without attending any classes or any coaching. But in my opinion, it is very important to have someone reliable around you to help you. It's very important to have a tutor who has also gone through the whole IELTS test, right? The tutor who may be prepared on their own so that you will be able to rely on them. And that's what I do in my Rocket Speed IELTS preparation course. By the way, I have the Rocket Speed IELTS preparation course starting next Monday, which is May 11th. There are some people in this chat I know who have taken the course before. That's a famous course. I have been doing that for over a year now. And if those people want to share something, they can. Please write your opinions about the course in the chat, because I run that course completely online. There are 3 different types of the course that you can join. There is the work and study on your own option, where you can just get the bundle of materials, all the lessons, all the PDFs from me, all the exclusive materials that I don't share anywhere else. You can get those and you can prepare on your own with your own pace. There is also an option to work with your classmates. They are people who also take in the course, and you will practice your speaking with them. You will also join a closed Facebook group for the course. The course is an intensive one. It lasts for 1 month, and everything happens in a closed Facebook group, so that you don't have to download any additional apps. You probably have the Facebook app on your phone right now, so you don't have to download anything. The whole thing happens there. So the second option is to take the course and work with your classmates to practice speaking with them. And the third option is the most expensive option, is the option of working with me directly. Your speaking will be trained with me one-on-one. But other than that, it's identical to the second one, where you also join the group and you work during 1 month on developing all 4 modules of IELTS. So again, the Rocket Speed IELTS preparation course is a famous course that I run almost every month. It lasts for 1 month. It's an intensive one. It helps you to boost your score intensively. It consists of 4 modules, obviously 4 modules of IELTS, plus 3 modules of effective advanced vocabulary for IELTS. So we work with lots of practice and lots of theory for every single module of the test in the course, so that when you finish the course, you have practiced with all the IELTS modules, you have learned lots of different words, and you are now, you will be then prepared to take the course, to take the IELTS test. And everyone who finishes the course also gets a certificate. So I will now send you the link to it in the chat, so that you can also have a look and maybe join us, because the next batch of the course starts next Monday. That is May 11th. My personal strategies of how to ace the test and make it make your performance a good one. Okay, so what were your other questions? Augusta says, obviously, this time, the time of quarantine. reshaped our everyday existence. As for me, I'm writing my thesis and also taking some economic courses. That's really a very good time for me. Yes, indeed, that's honestly perfect. I think that that's such a good time for writing a thesis and for doing some academic work. Right. Mian Kazim again says that he has a problem with learning vocabulary. Can you tell me some tips to learn vocabulary? Yes, sure. I have a separate video on how to learn new words. The video is on my channel, so please go there and look in the videos. I'm not going to take the time now because we have a completely different topic, but I have a video where I explain everything for writing the words. Right. So let's get back to our topic. Our topic is what will be the future of IELTS after the quarantine? And since we understand that now everything has changed so much, what are the different options that we have for assessing our knowledge and for maybe making do without IELTS? So there is the IELTS indicator test. That's a new test that was created by the British Council, and they created a test that can be taken completely online and a test that is completely authorized and official. So IELTS indicator test is an online version of a real, normal, conventional IELTS that everyone can take at their homes during the quarantine time. And looks like it's great, right? Looks like such a good idea. Everyone is able to take the test, the IELTS test, without leaving their homes. But one big question with it is that some institutions still do not recognize it because there is no possibility to check who is actually taking the test. So is it actually the person who is applying, or is it maybe someone else? Is a candidate receiving any external help or not? So it's very easy to cheat on this IELTS indicator test. So that is why many institutions still do not accept it, because they don't see it as a reliable source. And they think that people can cheat it easily, and they think that it's a thing that is not maybe the best benchmark of your English, because it's just a ballpark of your knowledge. It's not a clear score that you get for your conventional IELTS. It's more of a approximation, I would say. So the IELTS indicator test is a test that helps many people to solve the problem of being not able to take the IELTS test, because lots of IELTS centers are currently closed. But again, it has its problems. Have you guys heard about the IELTS indicator test? Can you please write in the chat what have you guys heard and what do you think of it? Would you take this test or not? Is it for you? Do you also share the opinion that it's good to take the test online at your home without going anywhere? Would you do it for your admission to a university or for applying to a job? So please share your opinions. And I'm sorry, any languages except for English are prohibited in our chat. So I will have to delete everything that is not in English. Please do not write anything that is not in English in the chat. Thank you. Right, so except for the IELTS indicator, what are the other ways of taking the test? There is the Duolingo test. Have you heard about the Duolingo test? Please let me know in the chat. Have you heard about the Duolingo online test? Because it has definitely its own perks. I know that many people are now thinking and contemplating, am I going to take Duolingo? Am I not? Is it worth it? Is it not? So let's talk a bit about the Duolingo test. So the first thing that is good about this test is that it is adaptive. So what does adaptive mean? It means that the test really adapts to your level of knowledge. And unlike IELTS, that is the same for everyone, the Duolingo test is really different because it changes depending on your current level. It means that if you show the test that you can answer correctly difficult questions, the test will show you more of difficult questions because it adapts to your level. It understands that you are at a higher level, that you know English better, and it shows you more complicated questions. So it is a good thing that it is adaptive and it is based on artificial intelligence. However, not all the universities accept it again. So it is ultra cheap. Comparing with IELTS that costs more than $200, Duolingo is only $50. It's very cheap. It is available online. Everyone can take it anywhere. It is a good idea and a good incentive for people to take. But many institutions do not accept it. Many colleges, universities, and even employers, they do not see it as a reliable way of gauging your English level. Why? Because first of all, there is again there is no security, right? We cannot check if a person has cheated or not. We don't know what they used while taking the test. We don't know if someone helped them while they were taking the test. So there is a very big question of security and reliability and validity. So that is why universities across the globe, they don't really accept this test, even though the whole idea of democratizing the market of English tests is a good idea. But still, for now, the Duolingo is so new, it's so unsecure and unreliable that universities obviously don't accept it. For example, Indiana University in the US, they accept Duolingo only in tandem with IELTS or TOEFL, right? So it's not only Duolingo. It can be used as an additional source of information about your English knowledge, except for the conventional sources. There are also some questions that are not that academic at all. There are questions like identify fake and real English words. Can you imagine? To identify fake or real English words. What question is it? So it's really not something that that universities want to receive as a proof of the language proficiency. So I don't advise looking at the Duolingo test and spending money on that and time. I would advise to take IELTS because IELTS is reliable, is a valid test to gauge your level. Okay, let me read a couple of comments. Researcher 303 says that IELTS indicator is not recommended because not so many universities recognize this exam. The real IELTS exam is much better and recognized by all universities around the world. That is true, partially because the real IELTS exam is not recognized by all universities around the world. Some universities prefer TOEFL instead of IELTS, but yes, in general, it is better to wait for a little bit and then after the quarantine finishes, take the normal, real, conventional IELTS test because it will be so much more beneficial for your future. Then YouTube Famous, hi, says, yes, I wouldn't do it because most universities only accept IELTS academic. Right. Is IELTS community letting students to give from home? Sorry, I don't understand what you mean. And that's the most frequent mistakes that students make. Students don't give IELTS. No, forget about that. That's such a huge and bad mistake. Students take IELTS because students take the test while teacher gives a test, right? That's a difference. Students take tests, teachers give tests. Students do not give tests. That's a very big and very common mistake that I really wish that everyone one day will understand it. So, yeah. Okay, Augusta says that I would take IELTS indicator test just to get familiarized with the structure and know my approximate level. Yes, I also agree that IELTS indicator is good just for ballparking your current level. It's not a tool that will bring you to any university worldwide. It's just a good thing to understand your level quickly because the results are much, much, much quicker than the results on the real IELTS test. Another question. Hello, Darian. Would you believe probable that the price of IELTS test get any lower due to quarantine? No, I don't think that the price will get any lower actually, because examiners have to get their salaries. There are people who have to be paid somehow. And currently, because of the quarantine, examiners do not get paid. And the whole industry suffers. So obviously they will need to, again, fill their budget with money somehow. So I don't think that the price will drop, unfortunately. YouTube Famous says, how can we get motivated to practice daily for IELTS writing? Why aren't you motivated? Aren't you motivated by your glorious future abroad? Aren't you motivated by taking the test and scoring your target score because you've spent so much money on it? Aren't you motivated by showing all your family and friends that you are able to achieve things? By showing them that you're able to change your life, by making them proud of you? Aren't you motivated by that? For me personally, questions about motivations are very weird in a way, because you're going to spend so much money on the test that the only money question is already motivating. I would not like to spend so much money and then not prepare and then fail the test. What is the logic behind that? And then I'm also very much motivated by my desire to have a brilliant future and by my desire to have a brilliant career. So I know that IELTS was such a good step for me. Without that, my career would be completely different and probably miserable because currently I live a dream life and I'm very happy that I took that step and that I took IELTS and that it completely changed my life, honestly. Ryan Roy, for the third time, tries to send me the same comment. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I see it. Only 4 words he sends us. Let's read them. He says, IELTS, IBT, or PBT. I have no idea what that is, honestly. What is IBT or PBT? What is that? No idea. Okay, can you please explain? Thank you. Goldnosa says, hi, is it possible to improve reading skills from 6.5 to 8.5? Yes, of course. When I just started my IELTS preparation. When I just started my IELTS preparation, I was at the 7 band score, somewhere like that. 6.5 for my reading. So that was the question that was the level that you now give me. And after 1 month of practice, after 1 month of preparation, I was able to score 9.0. It's perfectly possible. That was exactly what I did. That was exactly my path, exactly my journey. It is completely possible, guys. I have all step-by-step videos on my channel where you can go and watch how I solve any reading test and any listening test, step by step. So go there and watch it. And also join the Rocket Speed IELTS preparation course that starts on May 11th, which is the next Monday. I will send you the link here. And I also have a promo code for you. Promo code for everyone in this chat for a 5% off. That's Rocket 5. Use this promo code at your checkout to get a 5% discount for your Rocket Speed IELTS preparation course. And again, in this course, I explain all of my strategies of how to get 9 on reading and listening, how to get 8 overall, and even more, how to be successful on IELTS, how the test works, what are the working strategies. I also share exclusive materials that I don't share anywhere else. So in my opinion, it's an amazing course. You can also read the opinion of Augusta, who also took the course before in the past, and she shared her thoughts about that in the chat. You can scroll up and find it. Right. Yahasahira asks, your channel name. You are on this channel, my dear. You are on this channel right now. I didn't even know how to answer this. You are on this channel right now. My channel name is Darian St. Martin, and you are currently watching this live stream from my channel on YouTube. So you are already here. Please go and have a look at the videos. So Ryan Roy explains his question, and he asks about the paper-based or computer-based test. So on my Instagram, do you know my Instagram? That's what's the name of it in English? Oh my goodness, I forgot. Oh yeah, it's D-St. Martin. That's my ID on Instagram. And there I have recently posted a post about the differences. Do you see it? You probably don't, right? Is it too bright? Oh no, looks like that's too bright. Is it? I'm trying to show you the, yeah, now you can see it. So that's a post on my Instagram where I explain pros and cons of the paper-based and computer-based IELTS test. So they are all here. You can, oh, no. You can go to my Instagram and you can have a look at those as well. Again, my Instagram name is D-St. Martin. There are a lot of different posts about IELTS, about learning words, about my journey to where I am now, about English. So lots of different useful content on my Instagram. It's probably, is it mirrored or not? Because I don't know how you see it. Do you see it normally or do you see it distorted? I don't know. So yeah, answering your question, what is better? The oh no, I showed you the post with IELTS indicator. I'm sorry, I showed you the post with IELTS indicator, but I meant to show you this post. Right, this is the post with the computer-based test and paper-based test and the difference, pros and cons. So yeah, that is the post. And in the computer-based test, you will have to type answers directly. And if you're not good at typing, that's definitely not the best option for you. Because for me personally, I'm very good at typing. I type very quickly, but I still prefer handwriting. I still like and I enjoy writing by hand. So I prefer paper-based, but in the computer-based, you can type the answers directly. And then in the reading module, in the paper-based test, you must be sure in your spelling, but in the computer-based test, you can copy and paste words from the text. So it's easier. In the computer-based test, it's just easier to copy and paste words to your answer sheet. And that's why you may make less mistakes. Then in the writing module, in the computer-based test, the computer will automatically count the number of your words. That's again a bit easier than in the paper-based. And in the computer-based test, you will receive your score in 5 or 7 days, which is less than the usual fortnight, 14 days for the paper-based test. So computer-based test looks okay if you're good with screens, if you don't have like, you know, any eye sickness or redness, or if your eyes don't get tired too much because of the screens, that's a good option for you. If you type quickly, that's a good option. But if you are an old school girl or boy like me, because I'm definitely an old school girl, I prefer the conventional paper-based test. Right, after Singh says, good evening. In your online course, you are interaction with students. Yes, in my online courses, that's only me who is a tutor. There is no one else, only me. And I work with every single person with my online course. So if you join the course, you will work with me directly during 1 month on boosting your Ielts score. So it's highly recommended, guys. I have lots of people who have already took the course and who are very happy with results. Diana Halikova asks, what do you think, when will IELTS centers open? So I can know for what approximate month I should be preparing. I have no idea. How can I predict the day of opening the centers? Because we don't know when the lockdown ends. In Russia, the lockdown is continuing through May, and we still don't know when it ends. I have no idea about other countries. Who knows? Who knows when the pandemic will be over? We don't know, unfortunately. If you have any knowledge about that, maybe you've heard from someone, or maybe you have your own guesses, then please text me here in the chat. What do you think? When our life will get back to normal? Do you guys miss the normal life? As for me, I personally, maybe I don't. Because I'm thinking that I'm currently in my country house with the loved ones. Everyone whom I love is with me here around me. I am blessed with spending time with people whom I love, and I'm blessed with living in the nature. I can go out of my house. I can work out outside. I can work with my computer outside. So that's perfect. And I honestly enjoy this time of being able to pause for a little bit, being able to regain the connection with myself, to learn more, to work more as well, and to be with my loved ones. So for me, it's a good time. I don't know about you guys. Please share with me, what do you do on quarantine? Do you like it or not? Are you paid the same? Maybe have you lost your job? Because I know that some people have unfortunately lost their jobs. That's so bad. That's just horrible. I don't know how those people will cope with it. I hope that the government will help them somehow, because honestly, that's probably one of the biggest problems of this pandemic, except for people being sick, of course. That's just out of question. Okay, Ryan Roy says that his IELTS preparation is almost complete, all because of your tips, which you posted 3 years ago. Wow, 3 years ago. Yes, I'm very happy that I'm able to help you. Please, can you give useful advice? How can I improve writing skills? So on this channel on YouTube, you will find my step-by-step tutorials where I just literally take an essay topic and I write it with you on the screen, and you can see what I'm writing step by step. How am I structuring my essay? You can see how I create the whole solution for the writing, IELTS writing problem, the task. So you can see all of that on my channel. Please go and have a look at the videos for writing, because they are step-by-step tutorials for writing a good 7+ band score essay for IELTS writing, for both general and academic modules. Syed asks, between British Council or IDP, which one is better? There is no such term as better. They are all authorized operators of the test. They are official operators of the test, and they conduct the same kind of test. There is no difference between them. The test is not created by them. The test papers are only given to them to distribute between people, and they are only intermediaries between a person who takes the test and someone who developed the test. So it doesn't really matter at all. Purna Rana asks, any tips to improve multiple choice questions in listening? Yes, I have a video on this channel, as always, that is dedicated to the multiple choice questions on listening. It is completely, only, and totally about multiple choice questions on listening. Please go to my channel. Please watch that video. I have taken the mock test and I have solved it with you on the video so that you can see how to do it. Gulnaza asks, should we learn new words of practice tests after practice? Of course. How are you going to expand your vocabulary if you're not learning new words? Do you think that they will somehow jump into your head while you're sleeping? Unfortunately not. It would be great. I would love it, especially with French, because I'm learning French currently, and that's such a struggle to learn new words. Let me show you guys. Yeah, that's my notebook for learning French words. And that was pretty much what I did when I was learning English. I would just write a column of English words and then a column of words translated to my native language. I also added here lots of contextual usages, lots of synonyms, examples, so that it would be easier for me to learn those words and to use them in my speech and in my writing. So that is just my personal method. Again, I have a video on my channel where I talk about different methods of learning words, and you can have a look at that. But of course, you have to learn words. That's essential. Building up your vocabulary is something that really makes a difference in your speech. That's something that gives you the ability to talk about different things, that gives you the ability to maintain dialogue on any given topic. That's very important. Evelyn Grande says, hi Daria, I have a question in that how can I be a talkative like natives? And when I want to speak something, I have not an idea and should learn new specific vocabularies. You learn words, not vocabularies. A vocabulary is a set of words, right? Please differentiate between words and vocabularies, because vocabularies, again, they are sets of words. So for example, you have 100 different words about traveling, and those 100 different words about traveling are a vocabulary. They constitute a vocabulary about traveling. They're not the same thing. So you cannot say learning vocabularies. You don't learn vocabularies, you learn words. And then the words you know build your vocabulary, right? This is how it works. And to be talkative like natives, that's just a question of fluency. And again, as always, I have a beautiful video on my channel where I explain what fluency is, how to attain fluency, what are 3 distinct steps that you can take to get yourself the fluency of native speakers. Am I fluent? In your opinion, do you think I am currently fluent? Do you think I am talkative like native speakers? Because I'm really interested. Do you think I am? I'm obviously not a native speaker, and I have learned English on my own by myself. So I don't know. What do you guys think about my speech? Rasulov says, how to improve speaking very fast at home? Tell us your secret of speaking. Ding, 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 ding. Again, the same answer. I have the video on my channel where I explain the secret of this beautiful fluency in speech. And I've given you 3 distinct steps on what to do to get yourself speaking fluently. Yeah. One of those steps is obviously practice. That's lots of practice. I'm practicing speaking English everywhere, even now when I don't have any problem with it. I still think in English I just, catch myself thinking in English many times throughout the day. And I also read almost everything in English. And yeah, I just consume all my information in English. Shriam.38 says, for getting 6.5 overall, one should focus more on learning vocabulary. I don't know if that's a question or not, but that's a valid statement for any target score. If you want to get any targets, any score above 4, I guess, you have to focus on learning vocabulary. Another question is, are you independently learning French? What do you mean independently? Yes, I learned French without, so since I graduated from my university already this year from master's degree, I am 23 years old and I am a master of management, of international management. So I graduated from my business school this year, and I'm now learning French independently from my business school. So I had French in my business school, but now I don't have any business school around, so I'm learning French independently. But I also taken courses. So I'm taking a course that is called Excuse My French. And in my opinion, taking courses is super important. That's why I also recommend you guys joining my Rocket Speed IELTS preparation course, because with my French course, it just completely another level. If I didn't have the course, I wouldn't be able to speak so fluently. So yeah, in French, obviously. Courses are great. Schools are great. English schools are great. Language schools in general are awesome. They're doing such a good job. So definitely join a course. YouTube Famous asks, isn't it better to use a flashcard instead of doing that? Flashcard app. First, I hate apps for learning words. I think it's absolute worst ever. I don't like it at all. That's my personal opinion. I don't like it. No. Second, writing words by hand, like doing this, physically writing your words, activates your physical memory. It activates the type of memory that is in charge of how you're writing, and that your muscles remember the position and they remember the way of writing. So writing by hand is super important in learning any language. It's so much better than any apps out there. It cannot substitute any apps. So I definitely recommend doing this. I don't think apps can help anyone learn language, honestly. Maybe they can. Maybe you have of learning English up to C2 level and becoming a professor of English using an app. Cool, share it with me. I would be keen to listen to it. Diana Halikova says, sometimes I struggle with the fourth part of listening section. I understand the problem is in academic vocabulary, but just learning words doesn't work. Any reading recommendations? Again, yes, I am sharing my reading recommendations on the Telegram channel that I will now link it here again in the chat. That's a Telegram channel with PDF books and articles that I am sharing there. They're great for your academic practice. They're great for reading and expanding your vocabulary. Definitely do that. I understand that only learning words doesn't really help, because words themselves are half of the problem. Another half of the problem is context. So being able to immerse yourself into context, being able to understand what people are talking about without even knowing 100% of the words is the true deal. That's what you should be striving to achieve. And that's obviously only attainable with practice, because context, it's the most difficult thing in any language. And context is usually what natives understand easily, and what étrangère, that's French, foreigners, yeah, I just didn't remember the word in English. I only remembered it in French. Crazy. So the foreigners usually don't get context that easily as natives do. So yeah, that's why understanding context is so crucial, and it matters more than just learning words. And for understanding context, you need just to learn more, listen more, use podcasts, watch TED Talks, watch English-speaking bloggers speak, watch my YouTube channel, guys. I have so much cool stuff there, honestly, so useful. You have no idea how much time I spent to prepare one video. It's so much work. I have to do a script like this. I have a script for this live stream. Can you believe this? I'm so organized. This is ridiculous. But I have a script for everything. For every YouTube video, I have a clear script of what I'm going to do and talk about. I have researched the topic. I have found books, studies, materials for any topic that I'm doing a video about. And I'm also preparing for many of my videos additional materials that you can download and print and use. So it's so much work that goes into every single educational video on my channel that I just want you guys to appreciate it, honestly. That's if you think that being a YouTuber is easy, it's definitely not, because it's a job and a hard job. Right, another question. Purma Rana says, which country are you from? What do you do for a living? I'm from Russia. I'm half Russian, half Ukrainian, and I'm currently a product manager in the biggest oil and gas company in Russia. I'm also a founder of the World Speaks English community, and I also teach English. I'm also an Ielts trainer, and that's my second job. So I'm doing both. I work in the digital transformation products in the biggest oil and gas company in Russia, and I have my own business. Next question. Diana Halikova asks, are there going to be new episodes of WSE podcasts? Yes, they are. The new episode is already there. It's the episode number 13 or 14. I'm not sure. It's already there. The only thing is that I haven't uploaded the relevant PDF to it. The PDF transcript of the podcast is still not correct for this last podcast, but the episode is already there. I will change the PDF soon when I get the new one from my partner. I will now send the link to the podcast here, WSE podcast for Ielts speaking. I'm sending you the link in the chat. Yeah, the new episode is already available. The new episode is number 13. Yeah, the topic is travel. Right, next question. We are running out of questions, guys. Out of questions. Can you please ask more? Because I'm loving that. That's so nice to talk to you. Honestly, I love talking to you guys. I love the questions that you ask because they're so smart, they're so interesting, and they're so deep. Okay, Rasulov asks, how to watch movies with subtitles or without subtitles? You just either turn subtitles on or you turn subtitles off. And that's it. I honestly don't know what you meant here. Maybe you meant something else. Can you please explain? Because I don't see what you're trying to say. Rahatoy Hashimova, I'm sorry for pronouncing this incorrectly, but she asks, how can I improve my writing skills without teachers? So it's very difficult, and I would say it's almost impossible to make yourself good at writing without having a tutor or without having a teacher, because you definitely need someone who will help you to correct your mistakes, who will point out at your weak sides, and who will help you to develop your strong sides. There are many teachers online. I personally have got an essay correction service. So you can submit an essay, essay correction by me. You can submit an essay here, and I will correct it by myself completely. There is an example on the website how I correct it, and you can get the essay corrected for, I think, just $7 US. It's very cheap, but you get all of your mistakes corrected. You get your band score, you get your areas for improvement, so you get everything to move in the right direction afterwards. So yeah, you definitely need someone to help you, because otherwise it's just impossible. Like, I imagine myself trying to improve my writing in French without a teacher. That would be a disaster, because teachers honestly help me so much. YouTube Famous says, what about writing on virtual flashcards with an iPad and a pencil? Yeah, it's better than typing, obviously, but why would you do it if you have your good old paper? Just why? I don't know. If you think it's more convenient, then great. But for me, I have this all around. I can carry this all around the house with me. And if I'm doing something, I can just put it right beside me and learn words. With the flashcards on a device, it's not always possible, because if that's my phone, then I have to call, I have to text, I have to do something else. I won't be able to have the flashcards on the screen turned on all the time, right? It's just not possible. But with this, it is possible. So when choosing this or this, I would definitely choose paper, because I just can have it all around the house with me. And while doing something else, I can just focus and learn new words as well. Okay, next question. I don't have any more questions. Oh my goodness, guys, are we done? Is this it? I'm giving you a couple more minutes to maybe ask me some more questions, because I'm done with the topic. We have discussed with you the future of IELTS after the quarantine. We have discussed that it is still very important to prepare for IELTS if you want to move abroad, because there won't be any alternative to it. IELTS indicator is not a great alternative. Duolingo is not a great alternative either, unfortunately. So we still have to prepare for IELTS after the quarantine. And I have a course to help you with that. So if you want to boost your IELTS score in just 1 month, definitely think about joining the Rocket Speed IELTS preparation course that starts on Monday, May 11th. Okay, Gulnasa asks another question. Which kind of materials do you recommend to enhance vocabulary skills? As I have already said, I have a Telegram channel where I share all the PDF books. I recommend anything you can get your hands on that is in English. And I mean anything. I'm subscribed to many news subscriptions that come to my inbox with news in English, with financial and business information in English. I read books in English. I watch movies in English. I watch TED Talks. I watch American and British bloggers on YouTube. I read manuals and textbooks for study in English. I read reports for work in English. So I just consume any possible information that is out there in English. And this helps to solidify my vocabulary, to enhance it, to enlarge it. There is such a thing as an active reading and active listening. Those are amazing for growing your vocabulary and for enhancing your grammar while listening and reading. But those are things that I'm just talking about only in my Rocket Speed IELTS preparation course. So if you want to know more about those, you should definitely join. Nikita Malinin asks, will there be a live stream recording? Yes, the stream will be recorded here on the channel. Purna Rana asks, I can't identify the correct answers in my MCQ in reading. All answers look the same. Any idea? Of course, lots of ideas. I will now send to you a video of mine where I solve a mock test in reading. Oh no, my laptop is dying. The battery is dying, so I will have to connect myself. Okay, so I will send you the link to it right now in the chat. reading step-by-step tutorial. Here I am explaining how to solve questions, including MCQ questions. YouTube Famous says, what do you think of using Grammarly to correct task 1 and task 2 essays? It's better than nothing. It corrects your grammar, definitely. It corrects some of your vocabulary, but it has no idea about the Ielts structure. It's not enough to write a grammatically correct essay. You have also adhere to the Ielts structure and understand how different essays should be structured and understand what exactly you should write in your body paragraphs, in your introduction, and in your conclusion. That is the thing that Grammarly will never give you. And especially in the writing task 1, especially in the academic, when you have to describe a graph. The Grammarly will never show you how to analytically work with a graph, and a tutor will do. So I definitely recommend working with a tutor on that. Again, you can work with me, you can join the course, the Rocket Speed Ielts preparation course, where we work with the writing module as well. Let me connect the laptop because it is dying. It is honestly dying. I'm trying to connect myself. Wait a minute. Okay, perfect. Next question. How much words? That's already bad grammar. How many words? Because words are countable and we use many with countables. How many words? That's the question from Gulnoza. How many words we should learn a day? What is your opinion? I'm currently bad at learning words in French. To be honest, when I was learning English, I would learn like 10, 20, 30 words per day. That is still not a lot at all. So memorize as many as your brain can take in. That's the best decision. Golnaza also asks, which is better, learning new words with definitions or with translations to your native language? It depends on your level. If your level permits learning them with English to English definition, then definitely that is better, because with those definitions you will be able to learn synonyms as well. But if your language level doesn't permit to do that, then you can only translate them to your native language. Again, that's what I'm doing with my French. I'm translating everything to my native language right now, because my level of French is not that good to use French to French dictionary. Diana Halikova says, can I use shortened versions of words? Yes, in speaking, yes, it is definitely acceptable, but not in writing. Akram Hussein says, can I talk with you over call? Why? Why would you do it? You're talking with me right now. If you want to get a class on speaking with me, you can book a class on my website, or you can join the Rocket Speed Ielts preparation course to work with me on your speaking. Evelyn Grande says, imagine there is a novel and I'm reading it. However, there are horror words in it and I don't understand it, namely the whole novel. What should I do if I don't understand it at all? Just drop that novel and get the one that is of your current level. It should be suitable to your level. Why are you reading something that isn't suitable to your level? It just doesn't make sense. Obviously, I wouldn't now go and read something from Victor Hugo, from the French writer, because I'm not great at French yet. So you shouldn't read something that is not of your level. And if you don't understand the whole book, then it's definitely not of your level. Just One Thing says, I studied very hard, taking coaching and self-study, but I didn't get my Ielts score, 6.5. I gave test many times. What I do? Oh my goodness, you didn't give the test. You didn't give the test. I beg you, please remember, students, take the test. I don't know how many times should I say this. Okay, in this live stream, it was only once, but in my whole life, I have said this honestly for a billion of times. Students, take the test. So you took IELTS many times. You have taken IELTS many times. Obviously, your coaching is bad, probably, if it's not able to guide you in the right direction. So maybe change your coaching, maybe take my Rocket Speed IELTS preparation course. And maybe your self-study is also bad. Maybe you don't know how to structure your schedule. Maybe you use not relevant and not authentic sources. Maybe you don't dedicate enough time to your self-study every day. I don't know what is your exact problem. Mohammed says, do you recommend IELTS academic reading tactic resource? I don't know what is that. I'm sorry. I don't know. I use only authentic sources like Collins books and Cambridge books. YouTube Famous says, great. I understand why Grammarly isn't appropriate for that type of essay correction. Thank you once again, Darian. You're very, very welcome. Ruhatoy says, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Gulnoza says also thank you. Thank you for Gulnoza for asking questions. She also says, what do you think supplementary materials like articles aid to improve reading skills? That was what I said. That was what I literally said. I said that you should read everything you can get your hands on in English because it improves your skills. Articles are obviously something that is in English and that you can read, so why not? You should definitely do it. So guys, it's been more than an hour. I am now losing my voice. Yeah, I will do a small video to my Instagram again, just to show that we are closing this off. The live stream have lasted for more than 1 hour. It's 1 hour and 16 minutes currently, and I have asked many questions from the chat. We have also talked about the future of IELTS after the quarantine. Thank you, guys. Okay, I have recorded that to my Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, can you please also take a photo of this live stream, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me. My Instagram ID is d-sandmartin. Evelyn Grande says, can you teach grammar? Grammar is G-R-A-M-M-A-R. There is no E in the word grammar. My essay skill is so poor, and when I write an essay, I always look through grammar. Of course, I am touching upon the grammar topic in the Rocket Speed IELTS preparation course as well. So that's an essential part of the language. Grammar is essential to any language. It's not possible to be fluent in a language. It's not possible to be comfortable using a language if you don't know grammar. So it's essential. I see another question. I'm just writing to the Instagram. We're closing the live stream after more than an hour of talking and answering questions. Yay, it was such a great live stream. Thank you, guys. Imana Fayozova asks, how do you recommend to practice in terms of modules? Is it better to practice all modules at once within a day, or to schedule it in another way? In which way is it more effective? Thanks for a great question. Let me have a sip of water because I am exhausted. So, for me personally, I am more accustomed of focusing on 1 or 2 modules per day. So for instance, that only listening and reading, and that's it. Another day that's only writing and speaking. You can also mix them in any way that is comfortable for you. If you want to do all of them in one day, go for it. But in my opinion, that distracts your brain too much and you don't get too concentrated. I think being concentrated on 1 or 2 modules in one day is better than trying to scatter your attention throughout all the modules. I don't think that's the best strategy. So focusing yourself on 1 or 2 modules is the best. You can also group modules depending on the skills that are tested for those modules, and it will help your brain to understand and get accustomed to those skills better. Right, so once again, until we close that off, I am recommending you to join the Rocket Speed IELTS preparation course, and every single member of this live stream gets a promo code for a 5% off discount. You can use it to get a discount for my course. The course starts on May 11th, and it is a perfect course to boost your score in just 1 month, 100% online for every single module of IELTS. It works for IELTS Academic and IELTS General as well. Right, Gulnoza says, I do much reading practices, but my reading is not improved. What do you recommend? So I cannot recommend you anything here because I don't know why exactly your score is not improving. I haven't worked with you. I don't know what is your pace of learning. I don't know what mistakes you're making. I don't know how fast you're reading. I don't know, do you use the active reading technique that I teach in my course or not? I don't know if you use the speed reading techniques or not. I don't know what your size of vocabulary is. I don't know so many things, so I cannot say why your score is not improving. There are too many variables that go into this. Marina Magilko, it is definitely not the real Marina Magilko because her last name is spelled differently. But anyway, she says, hello, how can we improve our reading score? I have many videos on reading on my YouTube channel. I will send to you the link to those videos. I have many videos with step-by-step explanations, like literally I'm taking a reading test and step-by-step I'm solving it with you on the screen, on the video, I'm sorry. So reading tutorials for Marina here. You can go there, you can check them, and you can obviously improve your reading. Or you can join the course. How many times should I say this? You can also join the course, the Rocket Speed IELTS preparation course. You have a promo code for a discount, and we work on all the modules of IELTS in that course during 1 month, 100% online on Facebook with me. And I share my working strategies about how I got 9 on reading, 9 on listening, 7 on writing, and 7.5 on speaking, resulting in overall 8.0 on IELTS Academic. Thank you guys very much. I hope the live stream was informative for you and interesting. In the description to this live stream, you will find more links for my free resources and for my paid resources as well. I have many things for you to use. I also have the Speaking Partner Matching Service. That is a free service that you can use to get yourself a free speaking partner. That is an amazing thing. I don't think we have anything else like this on the internet. Maybe we have. Can you please send me a link if you do? But I have created the Speaking Partner Matching to help you guys find yourself a dedicated speaking partner. And that's completely free. You just submit a request there, specifying your criteria, and my team and me, we find for you a person who fulfills your criteria and who is your perfect speaking partner. So definitely use the service, definitely send a request. It is completely free. You don't have to pay anything. You get a dedicated person who is ready to practice with you. Thank you so much. If you think that this live stream was useful, please give me a like button, the thumbs up button, because it helps the algorithm to appreciate my videos and to promote them to many people, which is obviously much needed, and that can be a good support for me and my channel. So smash that like button and I will be very grateful for you. Thank you for the live stream. I hope it was useful. I hope the information was interesting. I tried to answer every single question, and I will see you very soon in my in my social media pages. I forgot the word. Here are my contacts for everyone who wants to stay connected with me in different social media websites. I am not able to speak anymore, guys. I'm losing my track of thought currently. I'm losing my words. I want to drink. And it's been such a long live stream. It's been an hour and a half with such an amazing audience. Thank you for smashing that like button, guys. Thank you for giving me the thumbs up, and I will see you very soon on my Instagram, on my Telegram maybe, on my website of the World Speaks English community. Welcome there. Welcome to my Instagram. I share my life there. I share many different useful IELTS posts there as well. Yeah, again, thank you so much and have a good time on the quarantine. Bye-bye.